Mostly when we ask what the age is, because somebody said something stupid. But in this particular case, it's what the age as a positive to Tennessee, because Dont'e Thornton was named the 13th most impactful player by Brad Crawford of 247 Sports as a transfer heading into the 2023 season. I got to be honest with you. I didn't think he would be quite that high, but that's good. Writes Crawford with Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman off to the NFL. This former Oregon wideout saw an opportunity to shine at Tennessee as a potential go-to threat in 2023. Thornton's portal entry was surprising, notes Duck territory, after he became one of Oregon's most dependable wide receivers in its final stretch run following an injury to senior Chase Cota. So the fact that this is a surprising move, I think you read a little bit more into it. They not only thought that Thornton was good in Eugene, but they thought he was going to be a major factor in their offense. So given that as a backdrop, I could see this crawling into the top 15, and we'll hit on the others in the top 15 as well. But at number 13, this is certainly a big deal for the Vols, who have some receivers to replace.
It was kind of shocking to me because, look, I mean, a little crow after spring practice, it looked like Squirrel White did not give up that slot receiver spot. So if he was going to do a top 50 just best transfers, I would understand with Dont'e Thornton. And everybody knows how high I was on Dont'e Thornton. There were two revisions that were made on this show based on spring practice. Dave and I both, Dave's prediction was Nico would take the starting job from Joe in September.
I'm taking that back. That doesn't count anymore.
Well, mine was that Dont'e Thornton would be to Tennessee would be like Kevin Durant to Golden State. We're both taking these things back off spring because Milton never lost the job to Nico. Really never. I don't think Nico got that close, honestly. And Dont'e Thornton never took the slot job from Squirrel White. So for Dont'e Thornton to be a top 15 impact receiver, you got to think he's going to take one of the wideout spots. Dave, I ask you, do you think he's taking the spot from Bru McCoy or Ramel Keyton? Because I don't.
No, but I think they're basing this off of his ability, and I think he has a lot more ability than Ramel Keyton. So if they want to, if they want to play him there, we've suspected he would be in the slot, right? And if they say, hey, no, we want you to be an outside guy, then do I think he could be better than Ramel Keyton? I absolutely do. So that wouldn't maybe be as surprising to me as you.
I actually agree that Thornton is probably a better player than Ramel Keyton long term. I think Ramel Keyton is he's so reliable. He's your guy, and he's been in the program for so long. I don't know how much coaches do this with seniority, but things like Ramel Keyton is a guy like, do you really want to throw him to the Wolves when this guy could have transferred multiple times and has been so valuable to your program? And let him have his senior year. I know you're not supposed to be sentimental like that in college football, but he's done so much for the program, and he stayed in the program, that I think that I just don't think you replace Ramel Keyton with Dont'e Thornton this year. I do think, I mean, it's possible. It's also possible, by the way, one of these guys could get hurt. I mean, let's be honest. Cedric Tillman got hurt last year, at which point Dont'e Thornton is easily the starter. And maybe that's what he's basing it off of. Because the thing about Thornton is, regardless of which receiver gets hurt, Thornton is the guy to replace him. It's not like you have to be like, oh, he's not a slot guy, so if Squirrel White gets hurt, we can't put him in. No, Dont'e Thornton would take the job from Squirrel White if White got hurt, and he'd take the job from either wideout if either wideout got hurt.
Well, Travis has mentioned that he's seen Bru, Thornton, and Keyton being the starter. Let's remember that Squirrel White is a smaller guy. So you might have certain packages in which he's really good in. If somebody comes out and he seems really quick to not be able to overcome press coverage. But if somebody comes out and plays press a lot and is able to be physical with him, maybe that's not a great matchup for him. I think at the end of the year, we have zero idea who the leading receiver will be among this group. Last year, we would have said who?
We would have easily said Cedric Tillman.
No question. And injury or not, Jalen Hyatt was going to be the leading receiver.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's any question what they were able to do in putting safeties in a bind with what they did from a slot position. So, if I had to bet, I would say that at the end of the year, most catches. Most catches. I'll say most catches, Ramel Keyton. But I'll say most yards. I'm gonna go Dont'e Thornton. I think that.
Wow, we're doing a reverse.
Yeah, I mean, I think you respect Squirrel White in spring, but it just seems like there's a different level of athlete in Thornton. I know this is really. You might ask me tomorrow, I might change my mind. Mr. Jones says Squirrel is going to go nuts this year. Hey, I see what you did there. That was pretty good. So,
sound effect.
I don't know.
Wrong sound effect, bro.
That's a perfect sound effect.
Hey now.
You can't beat Hank Kingsley from the Larry Sanders Show. Who loves that? Yeah, I do have new toys, by the way.
That's crazy.
All right, so Caleb, among those receivers, who do you think will be the leading receiver at the end of the year?
Okay, I think across the board it's going to be Squirrel White. And here's something I didn't think about until spring ball, and then the way he held out his own in spring ball. We keep talking. So Dont'e Thornton versus Squirrel White, the advantage to Thornton is the size. So Thornton can, you're right, get off press coverage probably a little better and win 50-50 balls. Okay, this is kind of funny to bring up, but Joe Milton overthrows balls so massively. Winning 50-50 balls isn't what matters. Being fast enough to catch those 20-yard overthrows is what matters. And Squirrel White is the one guy that, like, he could have that breakneck speed where, okay, Joe Milton meant to throw it 60 yards, but he accidentally threw it 80 yards. Squirrel White could get that other extra 20 yards to catch it.